was a quiet morning at JFK International Airport. Passengers were boarding a flight to Los Angeles. Among them was an elderly man dressed in a simple grey coat, carrying a leather bag and walking with quiet dignity. His name was Mr. Raj Malhotra. To anyone watching, he looked like a retired professor or perhaps someone on a casual business trip. As Mr. Malhotra entered the aircraft, he noticed his seat was in the middle of a crowded row. Suffering from mild claustrophobia, he often tried to sit near the aisle. Just ahead, he spotted an empty aisle seat. He waited patiently and asked a flight attendant politely, "Excuse me, if this seat remains empty, may I sit here? I feel a bit uneasy in middle seats." The flight attendant answered briefly, "Please stay in your assigned seat for now." Mr. Malhotra nodded respectfully and sat where he was told. When boarding was nearly complete and the seat still appeared unclaimed, he quietly moved to the aisle seat. It wasn't first class, nor a premium seat, just a regular one that would make his journey easier. A few minutes later, a crew member approached, more assertively this time. "Sir, you need to return to your assigned seat." Mr. Malhotra calmly explained, "I'll gladly move if someone comes, but I get anxious in the middle, and this one seems empty." The crew didn't listen. Instead, they escalated the matter to the captain, and soon an announcement played. "We're experiencing a brief delay due to a seating issue. Please remain seated." The cabin fell into a hush. Passengers began whispering, some recording with their phones. Everyone was confused. Then two uniformed airport security officers boarded the plane. They walked down the aisle and stopped in front of Mr. Malhotra. "Sir, we're going to have to escort you off the aircraft." He looked at them, calm and composed. "I see," he said quietly. Without protest, he picked up his bag and followed them. Passengers looked on, some shaking their heads. A few even said out loud, "That wasn't necessary." But Mr. Malhotra didn't speak a word of anger. He walked off the plane with quiet grace. What the crew didn't know, what no one knew, was that Mr. Malhotra was the founder and chairman of a multi-billion-dollar investment firm. He wasn't loud, he wasn't famous, but he was powerful. And as he reached the gate, he took out his phone and made a simple call. That one phone call was about to cost the airline far more than they could ever imagine. Mr. Malhotra sat quietly in the airport lounge after being removed from the flight. There was no anger on his face, just a calm, thoughtful look. He sipped a glass of water, pulled out his phone, and made a single phone call. "Divest all shares from Global Air, every last one," he said. His assistant on the other end was stunned. "All of it, sir?" "Yes, and issue a press statement today." That's all it took. Mr. Malhotra wasn't just a wealthy businessman. He was the founder of one of the world's most influential investment firms, with billions in assets and large stakes in many major companies. His firm held over $2.3 billion in shares of Global Air, the very airline that had just kicked him off a plane over a simple seat request. But the damage wouldn't stop there. Mr. Malhotra's move triggered a chain reaction. Partner firms and hedge funds followed his lead. By mid-morning, financial networks began reporting unusual activity. Global Air's stock started to dip, first by 4%, then 9%, and by the end of the day, it had fallen over 25%, wiping out nearly $4 billion in market value. Social media exploded. Videos of Mr. Malhotra being escorted off the plane had gone viral. The hashtags elderly respect and chunked Global Air fail began trending. People were outraged that such a well-mannered older man had been treated with so little dignity. By noon, the story was headline news. News anchors debated the airline's behavior. Financial analysts questioned how such a small act of disrespect could trigger such a huge corporate disaster. Then came the statement from Mr. Malhotra's firm. "Following an incident of unacceptable treatment toward our founding chairman, we are re-evaluating all partnerships with Global Air. Respect, dignity, and leadership begin with how people are treated. Not their status, but their humanity." The public reaction was swift and brutal. Customers cancelled bookings. Influencers called for boycotts. Shareholders demanded answers. By the next morning, Global Air's CEO issued a public apology. "We deeply regret the incident involving Mr. Raj Malhotra. He is a respected leader, and we are taking full responsibility for our actions." But it was too late. Mr. Malhotra never raised his voice. He didn't go to the media. He didn't sue or yell. He simply made a decision, a quiet, powerful decision. When asked later in an interview what he would say to the airline if given a chance, he replied, "Never judge someone by what you see on the surface. And never forget, every person deserves basic respect, no matter their seat, their status, or their silence." That was the day the world learned. Disrespecting the wrong man doesn't just cost you a seat, it can cost you billions.